It was a Champions League night in 2009, when Cristiano Ronaldo unleashed his signature knuckleball against Arsenal. He hit that ball from a spot that seemed straight out of a dream, and the result was pure magic.
Far for Ronaldo to think about it. Oh! Absolutely sensational! He went through.
Sure, you might wonder if Almunia could have done a better job, but that dip and power in the shot, extremely ferocious. And with that being said, here are the top 20 free kicks in football history. Now, let's shift gears to one of the best to play the beautiful game. The scene was set against Real Sociedad when Barcelona got a free kick about 30 yards out the box, and up stepped Messi when he delivered a floating masterpiece right into the back of the net. As for the goalkeeper, really looked frozen in time as he watched his fellow Argentine teammate work his magic. But how can we forget Robin van Persie's moment of glory against Sunderland? Van Persie took matters into his own hands, or should I say, his trusty left foot. Now, this wasn't your ordinary free kicks, and fair to say, the power behind that strike was enough to keep the lights on in the Emirates Stadium for a whole week. Now, the next thing is, you don't always need power to score a top free kick, and that's exactly what Xabi Alonso did against Werder Bremen. Instead of blasting through the wall, or even trying to go over it, Alonso casually sneaked the ball right under their feet as they jumped, and in a moment of pure awe, he outsmarted the whole stadium, leaving jaws dropped and fans cheering. Now that was cheeky. But not as cheeky as Ronaldinho chipping the ball over Seaman's head in the 2002 World Cup. Picture a free kick way out the box, and up steps Ronaldinho with his cheeky grin intact. He takes advantage of David Seaman standing a little far from the goal line and lobs it over him. The English goalie jumps, his fingertips touch the ball, but it's a little too late from Seaman to save it. As a result, Brazil wins while England's left scratching their heads. Now if we're talking about head-scratching free kicks, it would be a shame not to mention Dimitri Payet's iconic free kick against Crystal Palace. Now, picture the ball whipping around Palace's wall like it was competing with the Great Wall of China. And then, against all odds, it miraculously found its way into the top bins. But the best part of it? The goalkeeper didn't even flinch. Probably because he was too busy witnessing Payet's masterclass. Now, let's fast forward to another jaw-dropping moment, and it's Hakan Çalhanoğlu's free kick masterclass against Dortmund in 2014. Çalhanoğlu, representing Hamburg at the time, decided to seal the deal with a free kick that can only be described as unimaginable. With power and whip that defied anyone suspecting a shot, he successfully swerved that ball right into the net, making from a whole 50 yards out. Yes, you heard that right, 50 yards. And guess what? He meant every bit of it. And well, this reminds me of Rice's legendary moment against Man United. John Arne Riise stepped up with pure determination, launching a top corner missile leaving the goalie absolutely helpless. But I'm pretty sure no keeper would have been able to save this one. I mean, just look at the power of the strike. Pure class. Now to kick things off with a dose of classic FA Cup magic in 1991. The stage couldn't be any better for a North London derby in the semi-finals, when Paul Gascoigne stepped up for Spurs. And oh boy, did he deliver a thunderous free kick that smashed the inside of the crossbar and found its way in. Classic Gazza moves in fearless and fearsome fashion. Now, fast forward to 2001. England is in a World Cup qualification battle against Greece, and it's crunch time. Now you see, soon after the 90-minute mark, the Three Lions were 2-1 down and needed a point to qualify for the World Cup. And that's when Teddy Sheringham had just won a free kick 25 yards out. Now obviously, this was Beckham's chance to be a national hero again, when he curled it in from 25 yards out. Talk about pinpoint accuracy. Moving on, Cristiano Ronaldo's up next. And let's be real, the man's got a knack for brilliant free kicks. But his masterpiece against Portsmouth? It's simply in a league of its own. From 30 yards out, he unleashes a missile that buries itself in the top right corner, leaving the goalkeeper David James rooted. Seriously, you can practice this for ages and still not come close. And it's fair to say that the goalkeeper made a wise move when he didn't even bother moving. Now let's talk about the next free kick where the keeper did more than just moving. In 2019, amidst all the Liverpool magic, let's not forget Messi's gem of a free kick in the Champions League semi-final versus Liverpool. Barcelona's up 2-0 and a huge free kick opportunity arises. Alisson's guarding the goal, but only perfection is needed for this, and soon entered Messi with his iconic left foot rocket sneaking past a stretching Alisson, just to find the net to score his 600th goal for Barcelona. But too bad Liverpool took the quick corner in the second leg to lessen the impact of this insane free kick, and not to mention a blast from the past. It's Mikael Nielsen in 1993, unleashing the knuckleball before it was cool. Now this one's a mind-boggler. Nielsen smashed a free kick that was powerful and swung like a boomerang at the same time. And obviously, the goalkeeper's left clueless, not because of an error on his part, but because of the sheer physics-defying movement on the ball. And do you know what this reminds me of? Geraldo's insane strike with the outside of his foot for Cruzeiro in 1986. In a moment that turned a regular game into a "did you see that" spectacle, Geraldo may have introduced us to what Brazilians would be capable of doing with the outside of their feet. But we'll get to that free kick in a while. As for this match, Geraldo stepped up with his eyes locked on the net, and with the precision of a surgeon, he unusually strikes the ball with the outside of his foot. It's like time slows down as the ball curves, dips, and lands inside the goal. Insane. Coming up next is Juninho's rocket versus Ajaccio. Also known as the dead ball maestro, this guy defines technique, but he's not just showing off. And back in 2006 against Ajaccio, he pulled off the unthinkable. Picture this, a 45-yard free kick that defies the odds and finds the net. Yep, that's right, a 45-yard free kick. And guess what? He totally meant to do it. And that means Teofilo Cubillas also meant it when he scored against Scotland in the World Cup. Cubillas is often considered as the greatest Peruvian player of all time, and for a very good reason. Now, this scene is set in 1978 Argentina, Scotland versus Peru, and while the Peruvians were hard pressed by those north of Hadrian's Wall, however, by the end of 90 minutes, it was known as the day Cubillas shocked Scotland. Now, as for the last few knuckleballs on this list, Cristiano Ronaldo makes it again with his strike against Marseille in 2009. Flashback to his early days in Madrid and boom, a standout goal emerges. Now it's bizarre to think that he was still earning his stripes in Spain at that time. But check out his free kick game, which is undoubtedly a roller coaster. Swerve, speed, you name it. And back then, when he signed for Madrid, this was his signature move, something only he could nail. Now, as we enter the top 3 entries on this list, let's rewind to 2016 for a moment that had us scratching our heads in disbelief, when Maud Faiz Subri took a free kick that's straight out of a sci-fi movie. Now this one's wild. The ball's in mid-flight, but it suddenly decides to have a mind of its own. And the goalkeeper? Utterly helpless. Even Ronaldo's famous knuckleball seems like child's play compared to this swerving masterpiece. I mean, it didn't win the 2016 Puskas Award for nothing, right? Now, I don't know about you, but Hugo Sanchez's insane curler versus Cadiz makes the list for me. You see, Sanchez pulled off the unthinkable against Cadiz, awarded with a free kick situation just outside the box, and man, did he go all out. An insane free kick that left everyone's jaws on the floor, and in similar fashion, the top and the last entry on this list is none other than the Brazilian legend, Roberto Carlos's blueprint of a free kick against France. Brazil were awarded with a free kick when the free kick maestro stepped up to blow each and every mind watching the game. Now, the thing is, he was almost 40 yards from the goal, but that didn't matter to him at all as he unleashed a vintage long run-up and whacked that ball with power, technique, and a dash of pure magic with the outside of his left foot. The ball, which looked like it was headed out of play, suddenly swerved in like it was possessed and rifled straight into the net. Obviously, France's keeper, Fabien Barthez, was left in a daze because he couldn't believe what he just saw. And honestly, it's not just a free kick, it's a genuine moment of wizardry. And there you have it, folks, the top 20 free kicks in football history. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more exciting football content.